Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am jeffgrantMEDIA, and today we're wrapping up the one-year competition that was year 3 of the Redline Rally. So this here is my 21.5 ounce Brave Star Gauntlet jacket that I've been wearing as much as I possibly could for the past year of my life. I will include my final submission photos as well as the close-up pans of the fades and talk about them a little bit, but this is what I have achieved over the past year of my life. Now, today the Indigo Invitational did drop the PDF that gave the names of the top 50. We already had those a couple days ago, maybe 2 days ago. They sent us out the email, so all of us had to vote on our top 10 picks. So I did that, and then today they dropped the PDF. Maybe yesterday they sent the email out, and today they sent out the PDF. But either way, I am one of the 100 or so people that have been tied for 51st place. So I did not break the top 50, but I like where my jacket is. I mean, as someone that has a lot of clothing and jackets are included in that coming in for review throughout the year, there have been times where I was testing out a jacket that I was reviewing, or I do live in northeastern Pennsylvania. When it's freezing cold outside, like we had some pretty severe low temperatures this year, I'm not wearing an unlined denim jacket when it's like 6 degrees with a wind chill of like -20. I'm wearing a deck jacket or a pea coat to keep warm. This isn't gonna cut it for me. So even if I wasn't reviewing jackets, there would have been many days where I couldn't wear it just because it was just too cold. But I've been wearing as much as I could. And even though I didn't break the top 50, I didn't reach my goal, I'm happy. I did learn a lot through the competition. Also get into that a little bit later on. But right now, let's pop this puppy off and let's run through some of the fades that I have achieved over the past 1 year of my life. And we will start with the fade that is most unique to me, and that is this little guy right here. This is a square in my right chest pocket, which would be from my earbuds. Yep, I keep my earbuds in this pocket. They've been in there just about every day for the past year. So when I'm wearing the jacket or it's hanging up, they just kind of settle there. And that is just the fading from it rubbing on everything else that I touch or lean on, or when it's on the coat rack as it's brushing up against other jackets. So that would be my most unique fade to me. Now, if you want to come up here a little bit, you can see there's a little bit of abrasion fading going on here. There's also a little bit in the back, but mostly this line here is the most prominent. And that would be because this jacket here, it got projectile vomited on. Miss Hazel Fantastic was sick. We were in the ER, and she looked at me and just, I got covered, so the jacket had to get washed. I did button it up, turn it inside out, but I did get a little bit of abrasion fades from the washing machine. This did not go in the dryer. It was hung dry, but that is from spinning around in the washer with the jeans that were also covered with vomit. You can see it's not really that bad on this side. There might be a little bit here up under the collar. Actually, that I don't think is actually abrasion fades from the washer. The jacket kind of creases along here, so we have a little bit of fading here, but the abrasion fades are contained to here and then on the back, which I will show. So if you want to flip my collar, you could see here is my collar fade from rubbing against my neck over the past year. It's pretty nice right in the center. It's pretty high contrast right there. This is what touches, so this is probably a little darker from sweat and whatnot from a year of wear. But yeah, that's pretty high contrast right along the back there. So if you want to come down the front of the jacket, we have these two little guys right here. Now, I showed these in a couple of other update videos, and I didn't know what the hell they were from. I thought they might have been abrasion fades from the washing machine, and then I went back and I saw that they were actually in videos before I washed it. And then someone commented, said, yeah, I have those too. Those are from the inside pocket. I did not pick up on the fact that the inside pocket, which is also the pocket bag for the hand warmer pockets, that's the seam right there. You can tell it's a little thicker here because it's the seam that then goes under the flap for the buttons, so it's actually folded over and even thicker. So these two little lines are just the seams of the inside of the pocket. That's what that is. So if you have that too and you're unsure what that is, that's what it's from. And then you can also see just some fading going on throughout the front, just from rubbing, leaning on things, the jacket brushing up, just general wear and tear right here. That's all what this is just wear and tear. Now, if you want to go to the pockets, this is my right hand pocket. That's my left hand pocket. I am right-handed, so I do access my right pocket more so than my left. Now, if I'm putting my hands in my pockets, I'm putting both hands in, but if I'm sticking something in my pocket like car keys or throwing anything in my pocket, I'm generally throwing it in my right pocket because I am right-handed, so I use this pocket more so just because I use my right hand more than my left hand. So you can see a considerably more fading on my right pocket than my left. Come down to the bottom, you can see this is just a high point right here. That's like the fade. You're getting the bottom of the front flaps of the jacket with the piping that goes in the bottom. So this is just a high point. So all of this here is just a high contact, high touch point. So you're getting a lot of fades here. Now, if we want to come up into my armpit area, we're getting some good fading here. I had some good backpack fades going as well, because I did ruck in this as well. I'm rucking this with usually with a Go Ruck, either a Rucker 3.0, but I did use this with a Made in Vietnam GR1 that is a 1000D backing. So I did get considerable amount of fading in the armpits and over the shoulders from my backpack straps. It's more so prominent on the back lumbar, which I will show once we get to the back of the jacket. But a lot of this fading here in the armpits is from just the jacket rubbing and just creasing as you're wearing it. And then also some of this over the shoulders here is going to be from me, like on the seams here, and a little bit here is from backpack straps, from either rucking or wearing the jacket on the ruckus and wearing my backpack to work, or just slinging a backpack on my back as I'm getting out of the car and walking to the office. So a lot of this throughout here in the armpits and close to the pockets is from a backpack. Yeah, so if you wear a backpack, you will get backpack fades on your jacket. Now, if you want to come down and check out my honeycombs, this is my right arm. And then here's the honeycombs on my left arm. I think the left are a little bit nicer, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I mean, I am right-handed, but my left arm, I feel like the honeycombs are a little bit nicer on my left arm. But if you want to get close up on there, once again, that is my right arm. And then this is my left arm. And then sticking with the arms, this is the inside seam of my right arm. And as you get further down, we're seeing better and better fades because this is a high contact point as I'm working at my desk. My cuffs and the bottom seam, this rubs my desk a lot as I'm like using a mouse and whatnot. So there's a lot of high contrast and a lot of fading right down here. And most of that would actually be from me sitting at my desk, just operating my mouse. This is my left sleeve, same inner seam. Still seeing quite a bit of fading along the seam. Now this is also a high point, which is why we're seeing a lot of fading here. But then as we get down to the cuff, you can see there is still quite a bit of fading, but not necessarily as much as you saw on the right cuff, because my right hand rubs on my desk more as I'm operating my mouse. So there they are side by side, where you can clearly see my right cuff has more fading than the left. Yeah, again, just from using my mouse, my desk mostly, because that's just being dragged across my desk and my desk mat more so than my left wrist is. My left wrist is only really being dragged as I'm typing, but my right wrist is typing and using the mouse. So yeah, office fades, that's what you get if you sit in a chair and work at a computer all day long. These are the types of fades you'll see on your jacket. Now getting to the backside, as promised, these are the other abrasion fades here. This is again from the washing machine, not the dryer. The jacket was not dried, just from rolling around. But again, unavoidable. When you get covered in vomit, you kind of have to wash it, and hand washing just wasn't going to cut it. You know, a lot across the top seam here, these are just high points. This is where two seams are coming together, so we're getting a lot of abrasion fades there. And then this would be the back side of my shoulder straps coming to the back of the armpit. So backpack straps, this is all backpack. You can kind of see where it's a little lighter in here. This is from backpack, from wearing a backpack, both rucking and just wearing a backpack on the scooter, or just slinging it on my back walking from the car to work. So again, backpack straps. And if we come down here, This is my lumbar. This is mostly from rucking in a 1000D backed Go Ruck GR1, so just that 1000D is pretty abrasive, and it did give me some nice fades throughout the bottom of the lumbar, because as the bag has weight in it, it sits here and it kind of bounces mostly along your lumbar here. So that's why the lumbar, and you can see on the seams, we have quite a bit of fading. But the seams look good if you look at both seams going all the way up. Again, they're a high point, so obviously they are high contact, going to get a lot of touch. But you're seeing a lot of fading there, and then we get down to the lumbar, we're seeing quite a bit more fading, both on the bottom, the seams, and right here you can really see this like the white threads coming through. Now if you want to come up, this is the back of my left arm, the back side of the armpit. It doesn't look as good as the front side, but we do have some high contrast coming through there. Yeah, looking pretty good. This would be my right armpit. Again, some high contrast because this is a pretty deep indigo. Now coming down the sleeves, this would be the back of my right sleeve. Now this is my elbow right here. We can kind of see the ball of my elbow a little bit more there, and then also the other side outside of my elbow. Coming down the rest of the sleeve, you can see some nice fading. This is again my right cuff, so a lot of this would be from dragging on my desk, and this would be how I wear my jacket too. I don't button my cuffs, I leave them flared open. Now this would be coming down the back of my left sleeve. Here we go, hitting the elbow. Again, this would be the ball of my elbow, but here we're seeing a little bit more of a high point, more of a circular point, I guess I should say, as opposed to with the back of the right sleeve where this was a little bit more spread out. So I guess my left elbow, I must lean on it quite frequently and lean on both sides of the sleeve, and you can see this little piece here that's dangling, which I didn't even notice. That would just be the edge of the piping kind of breaking up. That's the seam of the denim there kind of wearing out. And then coming down, again, this is the back of the cuff of the left sleeve. That doesn't get quite as much drag on my desk, but it does get quite a bit of drag. So my elbows are probably the highest contrast, the highest fade of the whole jacket. Heavy touch point though, elbows and cuffs really. So I would think my left elbow and my right cuff probably have the most fades on my jacket, and just because I've been playing guitar more, so I just got a Spark Positive Grid 2, and that's my pedal board down there, and some cardboard that I forgot to take out this morning. So there we have the close-ups of my fades. Now let's take a quick look at my final submission photos of my jacket. Now I will say I took these like 4 or 5 different times. I just couldn't get good lighting. You cannot doctor these photos. These have to be raw photos. If you could edit them, you can make these fades look however you want. So you have to take raw photos, and I tried, but I just wasn't getting any good lighting when it was time to take them, and these just happened to be the best set out of all the ones I took. I was taking these photos right when I got to work because the sun was at that right point in the sky. If it was a little overcast, even better. I got some nice diffused light. But now that it's June again, the sun is just rising at like 5:30 in the morning. So by the time I get to work at 10 to 8, the sun's already much higher in the sky. But it is what it is. I knew I wasn't going to break the top 10 or the top 20 because I've been following a lot of these people on Instagram for the past year. And even the person that I'm rooting for, I knew that their jacket looked way better than mine. So although I wasn't happy with my final submission photos, I knew I wasn't going to break top 20 because I knew it was very, very stiff competition. So the person that I think is going to at least get top 10, because again, that number 1 slot is going to be very hard to get just because there's very, very stiff competition. There's some really, really nice jackets out there. But Going Turbo 3, who I've talked about in some of these fade updates before, he has the exact same jacket, the 21.5 ounce Bravestar Gauntlet jacket, and he does work in the trades. So he's wearing his to work every single day, and his jacket looks awesome. Now, I knew this jacket had amazing fade potential because Cade of Selvage Cowboys, he wore the same jacket last year, and I think he got, 2nd or 3rd place, and his jacket looked phenomenal. So I knew the Bravestar Gauntlet had really, really high potential, which is why I chose it as my jacket. And then as the competition went on, I was reviewing other jackets. I wasn't getting as much wear, and then it was 2 degrees outside, not exactly the weather to wear a unlined denim jacket, so I had to wear something heavier so I didn't freeze to death. But if you could wear your jacket a lot more, and you live in LA, you're going to get fades like Going Turbo 3. His jacket's sweet. I absolutely love his jacket. I'm rooting for him. I think he has potential to at least get top 10. Kevin's got an amazing jacket. I really love it. I'm rooting for it. It's the same jacket. So my theory, my running theory, the reason I didn't break top 50 was they couldn't let two Brave Star 21.5 ounce gauntlets in the top 50. So they went with him because Going Turbo 3, his jacket, admittedly, is much, much nicer than mine. There you go. There's who I think is going to get top 10. Number one's going to be hard, but I'm rooting for Going Turbo 3 to take it all the way because I absolutely love his jacket. So there we go. 1 year in the Brave Star 21.5 ounce gauntlet jacket. And I like it. I really like it. This jacket is actually, it's great. I'm not going to stop wearing it. I will more freely wear other jackets until Redline Rally Year 4 starts. I will be doing it again. I have an idea of what I'm going to do this year. I'm not going to give anything away yet because nothing's set in stone, but I have an idea of the route I'm going to go this year. So we'll see. We'll see when it comes. They haven't announced it yet, so it probably won't start until maybe January 1st. There's plenty of time to change my mind. And there's plenty of time to solidify the idea that I'm thinking about. But there you go. There's 1 year in a selvage denim jacket, wearing it as much as I possibly could. Now, the things that I learned are, if you want to put some heavy fades on a selvage jacket in 1 year's time, wear that jacket. Just that jacket. I mean, as a content creator that focuses on reviewing clothing and menswear, when I get another jacket to review, that's a couple of weeks, a month where I'm not wearing this jacket. Now, I did wear it with other jackets. Like sometimes I would wear this underneath if I was wearing a heavier jacket, depending upon the jacket, or if I wasn't even reviewing a heavier jacket when it was just that cold out. Sometimes I would throw this on underneath like a North Face jacket. I think I wore this a couple times underneath my deck coat, but it was just too bulky. But I think I certainly threw this on underneath my North Face jacket a couple of times when it was real cold out. But when it was like sub-zero temperatures, I was just wearing a deck jacket. It was the warmest coat I had. I just had to wear something warm. And I would still wear it. Like, I would take this with me and maybe wear the other jacket to work and then wear this at work, or when I got home, I'd wear this around the house. So even though I was testing other jackets, I was still wearing this, just not to do everything. But again, also really cold outside here in the winter, so I couldn't wear this because there's no liner. I'd freeze to death. So if you want to get the best fades possible, don't also do a review channel because that does get in the way of getting fades. Also, if you work in a trade, you are certainly going to get much better fades. Like, I work in an office. I am a corporate videographer, so I do go out on location. I have worn this on shoots. I have crawled around on the ground on this. I have worn this in the studio, crawling around. I've worn this sitting at a desk editing all day long. I've worn this for a lot of different things, but if I was doing something like HVAC or electrician or construction or anything in any trade, really, I would certainly get better fades on this jacket. So if you work in a trade, don't review jackets and wear the same jacket as much as possible. And if you live in a climate where it doesn't get to minus 20 with the wind chill, even better because you can wear it even more. But again, I'm content with what I got. I'm happy. I liked it. It was a fun experience, so much fun that I have already bought a pair of jeans and entered the year 5 of the Indigo Invitational, and I'm already planning on what I'm going to do for year 4 of the Redline Rally. So I'm already doing the next comp and thinking about the comp that just ended that probably won't even start for at least 6 more months. So I like it. I enjoy it. Indigo Invitational, it's really cool to have been part of this competition of the Redline Rally, and I'm happy that I'm going to be part of the Indigo Invitational. If you're unfamiliar, the Indigo Invitational is the overarching, I don't know what to call them. It's like the governing body, but it's the guy that started it. It started as a jean fading competition, which is the Indigo Invitational, and the Redline Rally is the jacket or shirt fading portion of the competition. So they run separately, usually like 6 months apart. So the Indigo Invitational is the overarching entity, I guess you will. But if you're doing the Indigo Invitational, you're doing jeans. If you're doing the Redline Rally, you're doing shirts or jackets. All fall under that same umbrella. So there's only one Facebook page or Instagram page that posts all the stuff. It's the Indigo Invitational. But the Redline Rally is the jacket or shirt fading comp portion of that. So there we go. Indigo Invitational. If you see this, thank you for allowing me to be part of this incredibly fun competition. And it's really cool to see how other people are using and wearing their clothes. It's really cool. And on top of that, you get to chat and bullshit with people that have the same hobby as you, that if you got a wife like mine, thinks that everything I do is kind of silly and has absolutely no interest in menswear or salvage denim or heritage clothing. So basically, I'm talking to a camera most of the time about the things I'm interested in. So it's nice to make internet friends and talk about some of these hobbies that we're into. So there you go. Join the Redline Rally. Join the Indigo Invitational if you're interested in beating the hell out of a garment for a year straight and see what kind of damage you can do to it. So with that, I am Jeff Grant Media. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Good night. P.S. It is about 9,000 degrees, which is why I am wearing a sleeveless running shirt and I am sweating to death.